Dan Schneider and Drake Bell did this behind the scenes. Hello guys, welcome back to Laffy Tune. At This Is It. Some of the most memorable installments of the show, however, came from supersized episodes and movie formats of the comedy. Drake and Josh Go Hollywood was a big deal, and seeing its success, Drake and Josh Really Big Shrimp was a go. The only difference is that Really Big Shrimp also has a really big list of behind the scenes trivia. Record breaking. For one, Really Big Shrimp shattered Nickelodeon viewership ratings at the time of its release in August 2007. With 5.8 million viewers attracted to the premiere of Really Big Shrimp, it became the most watched show in the history of Nickelodeon. Ratings are made to be broken, however, big event episodes of iCarly would later supplant Really Big Shrimp. Though the Drake and Josh Christmas special, Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh would also claim the record. The end of the show? Speaking of Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, it wound up being the finale of the show. The Christmas movie wrapped up the show in heartwarming fashion. But behind the scenes, Really Big Shrimp was originally conceived as the end of the show. Instead, Nickelodeon aired Dance Contest as the final episode of the show. 2 parts. While Really Big Shrimp was later been classified as one of the 3 movies from Drake and Josh, the behind-the-scenes production of the show initially had it pegged as the series' first and only 2-part episode. When it aired on Nickelodeon, it was treated as a 2-part episode event. In subsequent airings, it was treated as a film. It can even be found on the Letterboxd film catalog website. The premiere. Behind the scenes, Drake and Josh had a ton of connections to the other teen comedies that aired on Nickelodeon at the same time as and after the Parker Nichols comedy. One example of this is set in the parking lot in the front of the premiere. Remember the Asphalt Cafe from Victorious? These 2 locations are actually the same. It just made practical sense for Nickelodeon to use the Sunset Studio parking lot for their shows. Now she's Carly. When producing Really Big Shrimp, the writers and set designers of Drake and Josh decided to have some fun with the titles of the marquee at the premiere. On the show, these titles were always a source for jokes. In Really Big Shrimp, they became fun nods to the future of Nickelodeon after the show. One of the titles read, Now She's Carly, which was an obvious acknowledgement of Miranda Cosgrove's career trajectory. Her next project was to star as Carly on iCarly, and the Drake and Josh team had some fun with their Megan. Lil Lisa 22. Another one of the titles of the premiere had an interesting connection to Zoey 101, which was a contemporary of Drake and Josh rather than iCarly, which was its successor. The title was Lil Lisa 22 on the premiere. The title was a nod to Zoey 101 cast member Christopher Massey, who portrayed Michael Barrett on the show. It was a nickname he had for his girlfriend in real life. It just shows that the Nickelodeon show teams were always collaborating with one another. The Amanda Show. While Drake and Josh had myriad successors, there was also a time in Really Big Shrimp to give a callback to one of its predecessors. Both Bell and Peck had big roles on the Nickelodeon sketch series, The Amanda Show. At the end of Really Big Shrimp, a clip of the 2 of them fighting over shrimp on Amanda Bynes' series is shown. It's a tidy way of bringing the series full circle to Drake and Josh's first major foray into Nickelodeon comedy. It's also a heartwarming moment, which was rare on the show. Makes me happy. Returning to Zoey 101, another behind-the-scenes element of Really Big Shrimp managed to make its way to the Hangout comedy. If one watches the Zoey 101 episode Quinn's Alpaca, they will be able to hear Makes Me Happy. In the universe of Drake and Josh, this is the song that record companies quarrel over in Really Big Shrimp. Fortunately, in real life, it was simply released as a single. It's much cleaner that way. Director Blake. Really Big Shrimp was written by Dan Schneider. The second part of the event was directed by Steve Hofer, but one of the crucial behind-the-scenes collaborators was an unlikely person. The man who directed the first part of Really Big Shrimp, that would be the series star Drake Bell himself. It was the only episode Bell ever directed on the series, but he showed that he had a clear knack for it. The game. Few things were as fun in the old days of Nickelodeon than the fact that many of the channel's biggest events would be accompanied online with a game for fans to play. Really Big Shrimp was no different. It's obvious not a very technologically advanced game, but it came with a ton of nostalgia. Plus, Drake saying "makes me happy" during it. That's enough to make anyone happy. Really Big Shrimp will live on forever. Thanks for reading. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and turn on the post notification for more lit videos.